Hey friends, so you guys are hanging out with me today. I'm actually doing something that I've not done in a really long time. I got invited to do this caregiver event, and many of you guys know, if you've been around here for a while, that my husband was wounded in Afghanistan. There are a lot of different nonprofits that do a lot of really great things for people like me who help people who have been injured, and one of them that is super dear to my heart is the Yellow Ribbon Fund. And I have not been able to go to one of their caregiver events in I don't think I've gone to one in 3.5 or 4 years, just because once I got my own injury and TBI, I can't drive after dark. That eliminates a lot of stuff because I don't want people to have to shuttle me around. And then there's the fact that with a TBI, I'm extra tired. People who have TBIs get way more tired faster than people who don't have brain injuries. So yeah, sometimes even whenever I can go to one, I just don't feel like it. But because of the pandemic, they're doing some cool stuff over Zoom, and I'm really excited to show you guys, because this is a really different side of our life that we don't really get to show you that much, because we can't take you into doctor's appointments for my husband and just different things like that for a lot of reasons. I love the Yellow Ribbon Fund. They were actually the first people to reach out to us and help us when he was wounded. Lucy was 3 and Tag was a newborn. He was literally 11 days old. And we showed up at Walter Reed, exhausted, had all those new mommy hormones and stuff, and I had no idea what we were doing. And the Yellow Ribbon Fund paid for our hotel. They took such good care of us and made me feel like this is gonna be okay. We can get through this. They paid for us to stay in a hotel once for a month when we didn't have a place to live, when we were at a different medical facility. So they're amazing. I'm excited to get to show you guys a little bit of this event. So it's gonna be over Zoom, and we're actually getting to have a concert with the band Lone Star. And before that though, Dean Sams is gonna show us how to make his famous Christmas French toast. My husband totally laughed at me whenever I said that this is what I was doing, after so long of not doing any caregiver events, because my husband actually does the cooking. And so it's really interesting. He's like, oh my gosh, are you gonna burn the house down? I can actually bake and I can cook. I just don't have the capacity to do it after a long day of doing other stuff. So we actually caregive for each other. We're co-caregivers. He helps me with what I can't do and I help him with what he can't do. We actually balance each other out really well. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm gonna go log on now. But you guys are gonna cook French toast with me, and we're gonna have a concert afterwards. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna start by mashing up the berries, and it smells so good. Cinnamon. Vanilla. We're not measuring, which is good, because that's usually how I do things, is no measurements. I feel like I might have added too much of something, so I'm gonna put in another egg. I don't feel like getting eggs all over my hands, so I'm gonna use tongs. I put a lot of cinnamon in, so I don't think I'm gonna put more on the bread. I think I'm gonna put a little too much as is. I don't know. It's raw egg, so I can't like it's a lot of eggs, so I can't like taste it and see. It smells so good. I'm really excited to try this. We might have to do this on Christmas morning or like Christmas Eve or something. Mine's sticking a little bit, even though I added butter. This might play into why my husband cooks and not me. It smells like Christmas, like with all the vanilla and cinnamon. So good. You guys need to try this. All right, I'm gonna make mine look really good now. This is really my favorite part.
Come try it.
Let's see what the kid thinks. I don't know if he'll like the texture, to be honest.
Oh,
What do you think?
good.
Good?
That's amazing.
Yeah?
That fruit is very sour though.
Oh, well, that's why you scrape up some sugar with it.
Hang on. Cheater.
Okay.
No more.
Stop! No, that's enough.
That's good. That is solid white.
It's so good.
Yeah. Because you made it.
Aww.
No. No. You just said
You just said that you were scared to try my cooking.
I was. I'm
You
saying.
cooking every
I wasn't
morning.
saying that. I like
Oh.
it because you made it.
You were saying I think it's good because I made it?
Yeah.
He's rotten.
I think we're pretty much set for pull an all-nighter down there because we have television, drinks. I have a book. Tag has the iPad. We have popcorn.
What movie did you guys watch?
Santa Claus 3. We have 2 bags of marshmallows, popcorn. I have cookies. I have parts of my gingerbread house down there.
My goodness. So we're back now. They're about to come back from their intermission, and I just cleaned up everything, and the French toast was so good. That's definitely a recipe that I'm gonna use, and I think that we might try to do that for Christmas because it was so yummy and so easy. We went through it so quick, and it actually wasn't that much to clean up either, because one of the things that I dislike most about cooking is the cleanup. But there are a lot of other things that I'd rather do cleaning wise before I touch wet food in a sink. Do you know what I mean? It just, ooh. I'm super happy that my husband and I split up the household things cooking and cleaning, and it's really nice that we can help each other with both of us having TBI. I think one of the things that has actually been a blessing is we are much more of a team now, and when I'm having a bad day, he picks up extra slack, and when he's having a bad day, we just balance each other out so well. And if you guys are looking for someplace to donate this holiday season, the Yellow Ribbon Fund is so great. I mean, they just have helped us out so much. We're so thankful for Yellow Ribbon Fund and for them doing stuff like this. So we are gonna watch this concert now over Zoom. While I have a minute before the music starts, I wanted to tell you guys the story of when my husband was wounded, because we have a minute, and the Yellow Ribbon Fund was just so amazing. So I was taking care of our newborn Tag. He was 11 days old when my husband was wounded, and Lucy was 3. So I was exhausted, and it was actually my husband's birthday whenever he was wounded. I was in bed with Tag that morning, and I was super tired and emotional because, you know, new baby, and the phone rang. It wasn't the number that he usually calls from, and I always answered all phone calls, but I almost didn't answer that one. I just kind of like started to lay back down and thought, well, if it's important, they'll leave a message. But then I realized it could be him, and it was his birthday. So I picked up the phone, and somebody said, "Hello, are you Mrs.?" And I knew immediately that something was wrong. Now, after that, fast forward a few days, because we didn't really know a lot of what was going on. They were just like, yeah, he's here, he's alive, he's been hurt. They wouldn't tell me like exactly how he was hurt. I knew kind of some basic injury things, but not really that much details. I knew they were gonna be doing various surgeries on him throughout the time between him being there in Afghanistan still and coming back to the States. And I also knew that they had to move him around, and that would involve like medevac helicopters and things like that. So the next morning, I got another phone call, and the person on the line said that they were from Casualty Affairs. And up until that point, casualty to me meant what you think of when you think casualty. I didn't know that casualty could mean wounded also. The person on the other line asked me, he said, "Ma'am, have you spoken to your husband within the last 24 hours? And that was the quickest math I've ever done. It had actually been 25 and a half since I was first notified. So I started freaking out. I thought that they tried to medevac him and his helicopter went down, or something, that a surgery went wrong. I was hysterical, and it was the worst feeling ever. So then we figured out, oh, hey, guy from Casualty Affairs is in the States, and he doesn't realize that I've already been notified about this, because he says, "Ma'am, are you aware there's been an accident?" Just super dead serious, and I lost my mind. Worst feeling ever, but we got it figured out. So then I waited for them to move him to various places and then to Walter Reed. His plane kept getting delayed because it was winter in Germany. That was one of the places they moved him to. And then, so like wind and bad weather kept getting in the way of that. So I arrived at Walter Reed before he did. The kids and I actually got to Walter Reed on a Saturday evening, and that means that none of the like civilian people who work for the military who would have, you know, said, "Hey, okay, we're gonna put you up in a room here, we have orders for you to be here, and we're gonna give you money for food," and all of that, like none of that was happening because it was a weekend. I was terrified. My legs shook with every step that I took. Just couldn't believe that this was our life. Like, I didn't even know what this was, because they were telling us that he would be better like within 6 to 12 months. And so we just really had no idea what was going on and how bad things really were. But we also knew like, oh wait, this is bad. So, because they don't send you to Walter Reed like just for like a little scratch. So then whenever I got to the front desk of the hospital, the soldier there who was on duty, he was like, "What do you need?" And I told him I had no idea what we were doing, where to go, who to talk to. I couldn't talk to my husband. Normally I would ask him, "Hey babe, what do I do?" But I couldn't. I had like no contacts. I had nothing. And this guy was like, "Well, where are you staying?" And I said, "I don't know. It's pitch black out. I have a newborn who's hungry. I have a toddler who's hungry and who wants out of this weird place. Like, I've never been in this city before. I have no clue where anything is or what to do." And he was like, "Well, you're the wife of a wounded warrior, so we're gonna get you help." And that just like blew my mind. That was such a like crazy concept that was our life now. And so he actually made contact with the Yellow Ribbon Fund and said, hey, we have a new wounded warrior here, so his caregiver needs a place to stay. And they immediately, like within an hour, we were checked into our room. And it was the first moment that anyone reached out and made it seem like, okay, we can get through this. We can do this. I don't know what I'm doing, but there are people here who really seem to know, so we can keep going. And yeah, that was our first encounter with the Yellow Ribbon Fund, and we love them. They've helped us out with so much since then. So they really made a crazy, monumental, life-altering thing seem bearable. And yeah, so that's why they're so special to us, and I really love being able to share this with you guys so you can see what this part of our life. I want you guys to know I really appreciate you guys like hanging out and watching this. It's not a challenge or like a Disney Parks video, but this kind of thing is very prevalent in our life, and you know, we deal with the effects of traumatic injury every day. And while, like I said, it's been like 3 years since I've done something like this, it's just really cool. I wanted to show you guys that there are people out there who take care of military caregivers and service members and stuff. And I just think that, you know, they should be commended for that, and they should really like get credit for that. So love Yellow Ribbon Fund. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I hope you guys have a great night. We love you, and your life matters to us.